love language?
Food. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Happy Valentine's Day. We don't go all out for Valentine's Day. I mean, I decorate because it's fun and it's so blah after Christmas. So I like to put out decorations just to kind of cheer us up. But I have been planning something special for David. He does so much for us, for our family, and for me. He does so many things. And my love language is definitely, one of them is definitely food. Baking and cooking for my family is how I show them how much I love them. And I've been preparing a very special meal for David for Valentine's Day, and I'm excited to get started. I've literally been planning this for weeks. I'm turning my kitchen into, and his meal is going to be a steakhouse dinner from start to finish. And some of the things I can prep today. So I'm going to take you along when we prep today, and then tomorrow we will be making a lot of the things. But prep is important. So I should tell you what the menu is going to be. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to give him a little tray with some little things to snack on, some baby gherkins, some cashews, and I'm going to be making here in a few minutes cheddar cheese puffs. These have to be served almost as soon as you bake them. So I'm going to do everything today, and they need to be frozen before you bake them. So this is perfect. I've already made a spot in my deep freezer. The whole tray is going to go in there, and they're going to stay there till tomorrow when I bake them. So that will be the first thing we do, the little snack tray. And then I'm going to make a wedge salad with creamy blue cheese dressing, which a lot of that I'll be able to prep today. And then for the entree, we're going to have steak tenderloins with garlic butter and steakhouse baked potato, which has bacon, sour cream, a couple other things. I'm gonna get the bacon cooking today. I'm gonna cook I don't need the whole package, but if I'm cooking bacon, I might as well cook the whole package, and I will freeze the rest, or we'll have the rest for later this week for sandwiches or whatever we want. And for dessert, this is the first time I've ever made these, and I'm crazy to be trying it, but I'm going to be making chocolate lava cakes. And there's going to be enough for 4, so I'm also going to make 2 for the kids to have with homemade whipped cream topping, and some decorating them with some white strawberries. So I'm a little nervous because, again, I've never made them. I'm going to make the lava cake batter tomorrow during the day while David's at work. But again, that's something you pretty much have to bake them and serve them pretty quickly, or the centers get solid. They won't be the molten. It's one of David's favorite desserts. I mean, I like it too. Who doesn't? It's chocolate. But I've never made one before from scratch. And I found really cute heart-shaped ramekins to make them in. And yeah, so I've been really busy last couple weeks scouring some things at thrift stores and stuff. I found really cute baked potato dishes, and I'm going to put the baked potato in. I even bought some napkins. We have candles. Like, I'm going all out for him. So let's get started on the cheddar cheese puffs. So for this recipe, we need 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which is 57 grams, and I have that already here, all measured out. We are going to need 3/4 cup of cheddar cheese, shredded. I've got that already. We need flour, some ricotta cheese, a little bit of salt, and 1 large egg. So let's get to it. Make sure we stay on track. Gracie has done a list for me of the things we're going to be doing today and tomorrow, and I'm going to be checking them off as I go. This is a big help. And Grace is also going to be my sous chef to help me make sure I can pull this all off. I didn't cut my butter up small enough, I don't think, so I'm just going to kind of smoosh them smaller. So this part of the dinner, these cheddar cheese puffs, I was actually inspired. I am a little late to the game, but I discovered Lost Kitchen with Erin French, and she's in Maine, which is of course my home state. So that, you know, I'm like, how have I not heard of her? Anyway, I have been binge watching all the seasons and loving it, and she makes these often as part of her nibble tray that she serves at her dinners, and they just look so amazing, and they sound so good. So I thought, I'm gonna make those as part of our Valentine's Day dinner. And David likes cheese, and he likes cream puffs, so I think he'll like these. He has no idea. I managed to keep this a secret. Only Gracie's known the menu and what I'm going to be doing. So, Okay, we got the butter and the cheese mixed in. Now we're going to add the flour. 2/3 cup. 1/3. 2/3 cup of flour. The ricotta, which is a lot, it's 1.5 cups. And I'm fortunate that most of the things I'm using for this, I already had. So I'm still able to, I mean, I made a special, I knew I was going to be buying some things for this dinner for February. But for the most part, I've done pretty good. Obviously had to buy the ricotta cheese, but, and the sour cream, because I used all my sour cream. But other than that, we haven't had to buy a whole lot. So that was pretty good. And that just happened to work out. So we need 1.5 cups of this. I think it's pretty much going to be the whole container, Grace. So one cup. Yeah, I think it pretty much is. Actually, I think a container is about 2 cups, so that's about 1.5. The egg. I do not have parsley. That's part of this recipe. I don't have that. It's just not something I have. And I don't have any pepper because this might shock people, but we don't like pepper. So the only time pepper is here is when my mother visits because she likes it. All right, so we are going to stir until well combined. Okay, we're going to take these over to the cookie sheet and drop them, about, I think they said about a teaspoon. So these are very tiny. It supposedly makes 36. Let's see how many we get. So I switched to my little cookie scoop just because I didn't like the way they were looking. And I think these are better and it's easier to get them all the same size. So. How many did we get, Grace?
28.
28, not too bad. So what I'm going to do is these two here that are kind of in a bad spot, I'm actually going to bake them up for Grace and I to try and see what we think of them. Okay, so these are going to go in the freezer. The majority, obviously, for the day. We'll just put them, I'll go in and take a couple out in a little bit. All right, we can check off cheddar cheese puffs, Grace. On our list is cooking up the bacon. Normally I use the air fryer, but you know, I cut it in half, but this is so much easier because I can pretty much get this whole package on this big cookie sheet and get it all done. So then we can check this off our list. So while the bacon's cooking, we're going to take 2 seconds and make the garlic butter sauce. So in here, the recipe only calls for like a 1/4 teaspoon, I think it is. 1 teaspoon. Yeah, that's not enough. So this is probably a good heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. And this is garlic that Gracie and I peeled and minced and froze a couple of weeks ago from last year's harvest. And that makes it so much easier. It's already done for me. So like I said, we're both going to be eating it, so it doesn't matter if we both smell like garlic. So there's that. About a tablespoon of softened butter, and it's still not as soft as I want. So we're going to put this probably in the microwave for a few seconds, just a second. Yep, so that worked. Melted it just a teeny bit. Made it a little bit easier to stir in. We don't need this till tomorrow anyway, so I can give it another stir, and when I'm going to leave it out here on the countertop for a little bit and then make sure it's good and whipped. Okay, and then the only other thing, Lily has decided to join the video. Our little moose. That's what you hear. You hear, that's Lily. She's got the zoomies all of a sudden. Okay. And not quite a whole half teaspoon. It's supposed to be a 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm just guessing. And that's it. There's our garlic butter sauce. Oh, I have to put a little bit of salt in this because that was unsalted butter. And that's it. Okay, there's another thing checked off the list. So now we're gonna make the creamy blue creamy blue cheese dressing. So this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some sour cream, some mayonnaise, some white wine vinegar, which I'm so happy I can finally use it for something. Garlic powder, and this is stuff I grew last year and dehydrated and powdered myself. Some blue cheese and some buttermilk. And I have powdered buttermilk, so we're gonna have to make up some buttermilk. And then we're gonna blend it all together. And then I'm gonna store it in one of my mason jars, and that goes into the fridge. So, one more thing gonna be checked off. Okay, so to make 1 cup of buttermilk, it's 1/4 cup of the powdered and 1 cup of milk. I only need 3 tablespoons, but I will just freeze the rest of this for when I need it, and I'll have some already made for the next time. So, 1 cup of water. I'm just gonna let this sit for a few minutes. I'll deal with the bacon, it's almost done. And then we'll be ready to finish the dressing. All right, so in here we have 2½ ounces roughly of that blue cheese, 3 tablespoons of my buttermilk, and there it is, that's the leftover that we're gonna be freezing. 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 teaspoons of white wine vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, roughly 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm sure it's more like a teaspoon. And now I'm just gonna blend it up, and there, that's done. Taste it. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. All right, I'm gonna put that in my mason jar. And then there's another thing. So I'm just gonna bake up 2 of those cream puffs so we can try them together. And then day 1 is done. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on top. I decided to do 4. I wanna see if they spread a lot because I don't have a lot of room. I have some pretty crowded rather on the other sheet, so we're just gonna see. So they're gonna go in for 20 minutes. Let's hope they're good. I put them in for 8. The recipe calls for 10. And our stove tends to run pretty hot, so we're gonna try them. They were poofed up a lot more, but when I transferred them to the plate, they started deflating. But nice and brown on the bottom. It took a lot longer than even 10 minutes for the recipe. I did them for 8, 10, 12, 14. So Grace and I are just waiting for them to cool down a bit, and we're gonna try them, Grace. Okay, they are cool enough to try. Cheers. I love the bottom. I think I might cook the ones tomorrow a little bit longer. Not bad. Grace and I realized I forgot the salt in the recipe when I made them, and I was hoping it'd be okay because of the cheese and the salt on top. I think they're all right. Mm-hmm. They're good. I mean, they're cooked, but I think they could be a little browner. Yeah. But what do you think? Not bad. Daddy will like them? Mm-hmm. Good thing, because there's a lot of them. Okay, so that wraps up everything on today's list. Tomorrow we got a few more things to do and get started, and we'll take you along and I'll show you. Fingers crossed everything turns out okay. Okay, back to round 2, and all we're going to do this morning is it's about 11 o'clock, so I'm going to get the batter done for the chocolate lava cakes, and we'll put them in the refrigerator. And then basically this afternoon I'm going to cook my baked potatoes, so they're already cooked because I got to scoop them out and add all the stuff and put them back in and reheat them up. But that's pretty much it for the rest for prep today. I can't do a whole lot more until closer to supper, but we can do it. So these are the ones I found. Aren't they cute? That I'm going to put David and I's in, and then I just have these 2 for the extra for the kids. They're already greased, and I greased them up with lard. And we're going to get started. So, this is what you're going to need. you're going to need a 1/4 cup of sugar, some vanilla, 2 room temperature egg yolks, 2 room temperature whole eggs, a little bit of flour, and over here is the chocolate and butter mixture that we have got in a double broiler, and we're going to get them going to melt down. So in this pot we have 1 cup of semi-sweet large chocolate chips and 8 tablespoons of butter cut up, and we literally just want this to melt. And once it's all melted, I'll take it off the pot and let it cool while we get the other ingredients mixed together. Just about melted, there's still just a few pieces. Oh, close up on that, Grace. Look how beautiful that is. I love melted chocolate. So we still got a few chunks. And we're going to take it off and let it cool. Usually I use a bigger bowl. Okay, I'm just going to set this here. So that's going to sit for 5 minutes, and we're going to go over here and do the rest of it. So, in a medium bowl. So we're going to whisk the sugar. So 1/4 cup of sugar, all the eggs, 2 whole. Vanilla, and I think it was a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Yep. And now 3 tablespoons of flour. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm just going to let that chocolate cool till I can almost touch it, and then we'll add it to this. So I already realized I made a mistake. I wasn't supposed to put the flour in to after this chocolate, so I really hope it doesn't make a difference. First time making this, and I hate the directions, like 5 to 10 minutes or until you can touch it. Well, I can touch it. It's been about 6-7 minutes, so oh, I hope this doesn't curdle the eggs. That will just really stink. So, all right, here we go. Just temper it a little bit. All of it. Okay. All right, so these are going to go in the fridge because I literally do not need to bake them until just a few minutes before we're going to eat them. So they'll go in the fridge, and I'm going to have a cup of tea and take a break, and we don't need to do anything else for a few hours, so that gives me time to get gussied up. So I will show you how everything turns out. Fingers crossed, it is a great meal tonight. do you think, Grace? Is it good? Aiden. David. Was it good?
Oh, yeah.
Aiden.
Awesome.
Now I'm going to try it just to see if they were being nice. That was good. Thanks for coming along with me while I made a special surprise dinner. Were you surprised?
Yeah.
For my hubby, thank you to Grace for being my sous chef. Thank you for Aiden to keeping Lily busy while I was managing to get things done tonight. And yeah, it was pretty darn good. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.